Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Marife Garfin from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Overcoming. This coaching conversation is for individuals, especially mothers, who are facing challenges in life of all forms, that is threatening their mental health, and yet they want to come out as the best version of themselves. So, uh, this coaching conversation is for everyone who wanted really to experience and to really want to go through the process of overcoming. And my mission is to help every mother of every family to take a stand in mental health for her and her children. I am a master builder apprentice of Master Coach A, and we build a tribe as we help your unstoppable dream come true. I am also a scholar to Master Coach A Six Steps to a Six-Figure Public Speaking Career training. And by background, if you're not familiar with me, I'm a nurse by profession with 22 years of hospital experience. I am also a wife and a mom to three young adults. I am an entrepreneur and the owner of Health and Wellness Coaching Center here in Tacloban City, Leyte, Philippines. So I'm coming in live from Tacloban City, Leyte in Region 8. So I am the owner, as I've said, and the center aims to facilitate overcoming from challenges of all sorts, starting off ranging from weight loss, health management, or weight management to gaining clarity of the future through self-discovery and everything about mental health. So magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So thank you for joining me live today. And please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you are coming from today. Please do tag a friend and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in needing of what I'll be discussing in this session. So ngayong hapon pong ito, it's an exciting topic that we will have. You may also give a shout out to your friends or the people you want to greet and reach out with some inspiring message. Pwede po kayong mag-comment dyan pag mag-shout out po kayo sa mga kaibigan niyo. If you are watching this on a replay, please do comment #replay. I am streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. If you are new to our platform, please like, follow, and subscribe so that you will get notification when we are having some a very important discussion. So magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat once again. Okay? So let me invite every mothers who are here with me right now, who are joining me now, to my nth attempt in motherhood. This is the tribe that I am currently building. And as I've said, okay, earlier, that my mission is actually to empower every mother to take a stand on mental health for her and her children. So we know that at this time, in this pandemic, even in this pandemic, the more in this pandemic, things have been aggravated. Many things, many of us have been challenged in our mental health. So we need so much of the support. And since the mom is in the center of the family, and the mom's energy is the one that is, being how do you call it? Yung energy talaga ni mom is where the children, the husband, and everyone in the family drew their strength with, or their energy with. So it's very important that we get to empower our mothers. Okay, so join me, PM me if you're interested to be empowered and to really have a community and support system. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So we're going to be discussing this overcoming um, being judgmental. So ito yung isang bagay, no, it's a negative thing, no, it's a negative topic. Like to say, when you talk about judgment, nakakainis siya, hindi mo gusto siyang pakinggan. But this is one of a very real thing that has been happening. Many of us are not familiar with this. I mean, we're not conscious of this, but we are into it. Minsan we are unconscious of really judging other people, and we just kind of say, nagbigay lang ako ng opinion, nagbigay lang ako ng comment. So this afternoon, we're going to be dealing with that and how it will impact the children that we have in our homes or our very own children, if you are exercising judgment, if you're being judgmental to the people around you, most especially to your kids. Okay, so before I begin, let me ask you this question: what was the worst judgment you received? Ano yung isang narinig mo, probably it was not really, you know, hindi sinabi sa iyo ng face to face, but narinig mo na parang sinabi na, ay, yan siya naman ganito. So, what was the worst judgment that you received in your life? So, may it be coming from friends, may it be coming from coworkers, may it be coming from, from people around you, maybe most especially growing up, we are with our parents or with our family, with our mom or with our relatives. So ano yung isang sa pakiramdam nyo is a judgment that has been given to you? Ano yung pakiramdam? Ano yung judgment na yun? What's the worst that you can ever receive na sinabi about you? Okay, so before I go further no in the discussion, let me acknowledge people who are joining me. So thank you so much, Miss Joanna May Flores, for joining me, Coach Tin, Coach Ann Caber, and thank you so much for being here with me, no, for joining me. So, what was the worst judgment you received? Meron bang mga 10 dyan? Meron pang umabot ba kayo ng 5? Is it on a monthly basis? Is it like on a daily basis? Oh, I can remember one worst judgment. It was humiliating. Yes, Coach Tim. Yun yung pakiramdam, no? Nung you will be judged. Hi, Coach Nilo. Thank you for joining me. So, judgment is really something. It will really make you feel, so humiliated. So you will feel so bad. So we're going to be discussing that, no? So you have that. If you wish to share that, do share it in a comment. If not, just think about it, no? And ano yung pakiramdam nyo about it, and try to really put yourself in a learning mode so that hindi masyadong masakit, no? But we'll kind of see what's happening on an all view, all perspective. Okay. Okay, so next. So what do you mean by judgmental? Kasi may mga tao, nako, judgmental ka naman, nako, you feel like you just gave your opinion, tapos sabi ng tao, you're judgmental. Okay? So, what's really the meaning of judgmental? Judgmental means having or displaying an excessively critical point of view. So, excessive. So, kung ang ibang tao, if you're not a judgmental person, you kind of gave your point of view, but it's not, hindi talagang dinudot-dot mo. It's not excessive, hindi overflowing. Naku, nakakainis naman. Alam mo yung damit mo, ganyan talaga. Alam mo, hindi maganda yung, and like, each time you see each other, yun lang nakikita niya. I remember sitting beside a friend, and nanonood kami ng isang practice, ng isang choir practice. And this person, like, pag upo niya, sabi niya, alam mo, hindi siya magaling magturo. Ang gulo, bakit ganun yung nakatayo yung ganyan? All throughout, like, an hour of watching our children, it was, my child was there in the choir, and the person beside me, and yung anak niya nandun sa choir. All throughout the course of the practice, no, nung naghihintay kami, lahat talaga ng negative, yun lang ang sinabi. And I was just simply listening with the person, pero alam niyo, pag uwi ko, pagod na pagod ako. I was so tired. I was so depleted with my energy. So, yun talaga yung nangyayari, no? Having or displaying an excessively critical point of view. Hi, good afternoon, Leslie, and thank you for, it is frustrating, Leslie, that's true. Hi, Coach Arnel from Katarman Northern Summer, thank you for joining me. Okay, so, it's excessively critical point of view. Judgmental means the first trait of a judgmental person is they criticize too much. So, sobra talaga, like overflowing. Okay, overflowing. Now, being judgmental or criticizing means that you are taking a view on something based on your personal value system. So, kung ikaw yung judgmental, lahat ng tinitingnan mo is in accordance to what you value, to how you see things. So, pag hindi siya nag-meet doon sa value mo, then that's talagang it affect you to say something. So, parang feeling mo hindi maganda yun kasi nga hindi siya sumang-ayon or hindi siya pumasok sa standard of your value system. So, ganun ang nangyayari when a person is judgmental. Okay. Now, according to Time magazine, they published this from the Journal of Neuroscience. The brain daw immediately determines how trustworthy a face is before it's fully perceived. So, have you ever had that experience that when you look at someone, parang uminit ka agad yung dugo mo? Parang you had also, or hindi naman uminit, no, but there will be times like you have this in mind, merong nagsalita na, naku, hindi magandang gagawin yan. Okay, so parang may ganun siya. So, it determines how trustworthy a face is before it's fully perceived. So, bago mo naintindihan, meron na kaagad. Meron na kaagad kung mo nag-click doon sa brain, which supports the fact that we make a fast judgment about people. Okay? So, talagang may parang like it's there in you na parang pagtingin mo, meron ka na kaagad conclusion or meron ka na kaagad like may opinion ka na doon sa tao. So parang may ganun daw na nangyayari sa brain. This was published in Time magazine. Now, what are the traits of judgmental people? Now, we are not, like this discussion is not actually to shame people or to like mag-isip kayo sino ba yung mga judgmental sa buhay ko. It's not that. But I want you to take a look at this discussion as reflecting on yourself so that you will be able to like bring yourself up out of it. So I'm not also saying na nako, judgmental ka kaya makinig ka. It's not the point. The point is we are learning here, we're creating awareness para alam mo kung pumapasok ka na doon sa pagiging judgmental. Okay, so that you can take care of yourself, you can arrest yourself so that you won't hurt other people, most especially your children. Okay, so what are the traits of judgmental people? So tingnan nyo, minsan ba pumapasok ka dito? Okay, it's like, so one is overly critical. You look down on others, and people are overly critical. They have an ego problem. It's a heart filled with pride. Like hindi na lahat ng tao nag-meet ng standard niya. Wala nang nakakamit ng standard niya except yung sa kanya na lang, no? So overly critical. So talagang lahat ng tao na tinitingnan niya, parang meron siyang masasabi doon. Hello, Coach Shan. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so overly critical. So lahat meron siyang opinion. Okay? Next is unrespectful of the person they are critical of. So unrespectful. They base their individual worth on the character trait. So ibig sabihin po, kung ano yung nakita nila doon sa person, binigyan na kaagad nila like hindi talaga magandang, I don't think that person deserves the respect or I don't think dapat ko siyang pagtuunan. I think pag nakita nila that someone had this character flaw, sasabihin nila wala na talaga itong mga gawang mabuti. So one time, big time mistake can stay in the mind of a judgmental person. At yun ang ginagamit nila to value or to create or put a worth in the person. So they cannot separate the person from their actions. Kaya pag minsan, isang mistake lang, talagang hindi ka na nila patatawarin at hindi ka na nila itatrust talaga. Okay? So, like, pag ito ginawa mo, ay ganun na talaga siya. Okay? So, hindi nila ma-separate. So, it's unrespectful of the person they are critical of. They're not thinking about the emotion. So, basta may masabi sila, naku, hindi yung ginawa mo, yun, alam mo, you're such a person na you are not really mindful, hindi mo ginagawa ito, and you have been doing this several times. So, parang ganon. So, it's unrespectful of the person that they're critical of. Third is, they justify what they believe. So, justifying the truth should not be a weapon to hurt someone. So, alam mo, tama lang yung sinabi ko na ganyan siya. Kasi ito yung ginawa niya. So, nako, alam ko, pumunta siya doon. May ginawa na naman yan. So, yes, Master Coach Jasmine, laging may negative comment. Talagang tapos na-advance pa yun. Minsan na-advance pa yung, nako, pumunta siya doon, siguro itong ginawa niya. Nako, nakita ko siya doon. Ganito naman siguro. So, meron siyang advanced negative thinking. Hi, Coach Nords from Bukidnon. Thank you for joining me. So, these are the traits of judgmental people. But what happens if the judgment comes from a mom? Paano kung yung nanay mo? Okay? Paano kung yung nanay mo yung extremely judgmental and critical? Now, as I've said, we are not here so that you'll get angry with your mom. It's not that. We want to learn from what we are what I would encourage each one to really reflect and be able to say, para hindi tayo nahuhulog doon. Because di ba sabi kanina sa study ng Journal of Neuroscience, merong ganung tendency yung brain to really look at the face at hindi pa nakikita yung overall story, meron ng nakiklik na yung brain to give a parang a trustworthy uh, rating doon sa mukha. Kaya we have to really be careful with ourselves to really took hold of ourselves para alam natin kung pumapasok na tayo. So, when you talk about judgmental or criticizing mom, it is coming from her own negative self-image. So, ibig sabihin po, pagtingin niya doon, nagalit siya doon sa anak niya, it is not actually, oftentimes than not, yes, may nagiginawa yung bata, pero when overcritical, it is not because of the child or what the child did, but it is how you see yourself, yung negative self-image. So, a mom who is overly judgmental or critical, she does not like herself very much, and probably had a parent. Okay, meron din siyang magulang or nanay who did the same, na overly critical din sa kanya. So, para siya kasing cycle. Okay, para siyang cycle. So, and sometimes, hindi mo alam yan. But you grew up in such an environment na naka-engrave na siya kahit hindi mo gustong gawin, time to time lumalabas siya. So her being critical, okay, a judgmental mom, her being critical feeds her ego and give her endorphins. So parang may energy. But it is not a reason. Okay, this is one thing that I want each one to understand and every child needs to understand. This is not a reason to disrespect your parents or your mom. Okay? Because this will only fan the flame. Mas lalo pa yon. Pag sinagot-sagot mo, nagalit ka dun sa nanay mo, the more that it will create a problem in your relationship. So um, it's not an excuse to be disrespectful with your parents because that's your parents. And the command of the Lord is honor your parents. Okay, honor your father and your mother. So it's not an excuse, but this can happen that a mom will not be fully aware na ganito pala naging judgmental na siya. Okay, but and for you, if you're here and we're discussing this and you're familiar with this, you know how to react and you know how to play yourself because alam mo pumupunta na doon si mom. Or if you are the mom, you try to look, are you being judgmental already? Is it too much already? Yung sinasabi mo sa anak mo. Okay? So, learning is yun yung ating goal this afternoon. Okay? So, what are the characteristics of a judgmental parent or a mom? So, basically, hindi masyado natin napapansin yung tatay because the father would go to work. That's how society in the Philippines, no? Pupunta si tatay. But there are judgmental dads. But most oftentimes na to, yung spotlight na pupunta sa mom kasi nga si nanay yung nag-take care sa family. But anyway, this goes for both parents or a mother. So, what is the characteristic? Perfectionist si mommy. Perfectionist si mommy. Dapat lahat in order, lahat dadating in own perfect time. Dapat pag sinabi na 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Dapat dumating ka, dapat bihis ka na. Okay? Dapat ito yung ginawa mo when the mother said, prepare the table, set the table for dinner, dapat lahat yan naka-well. Tapos sinabi niya yung kubyertos, yung kutsara, yung tenedor, I think it's the same, kubyertos. Ilagay mo dyan. So, dapat the same yan. Kung hindi, magagalit si mother. Okay? So, perfectionist. Okay? Yes, that seems to be a difficult situation. Judgmental parenting. Yes, Coach Nilo, but it happens. It happens. Okay? So, perfectionist. Okay? Next is with unrealistic expectations. With unrealistic expectations. So, alam na ng mama mo that you're doing this. Alam na ng nanay na may ginagawa yung anak. But still, the mom will demand na ito dapat ang gawin mo. Dapat ganito. Like, ibili mo ako ng something like that in the grocery. And it did happen because it's not available. And the child went around you. Yung anak pumunta sa lahat ng groceries, wala. Tapos nagwala sina. Hindi kasi kailangan mahanap mo yun. Kasi hindi ka talaga tumitingin. Kasi hindi ka marunong. You know, sometimes I go into that mode also with my husband when I say, talaga yung husband ko hindi marunong maghanap ng medyas niya or something like that. So, these are little nitty-gritty things, but we need really to arrest ourselves. Okay, arrest ourselves na, pumapasok na tayo doon. Hi, Coach Cherry Minas. Thank you for joining me. So, with unrealistic expectation. Next is reluctant to praise their children's effort. So alam na, I've heard of a story in a friend telling a story, no, na yung kanyang office mate received a phone from the child, and the child said, "Mom, I'm an honor student. I am a top three ata yon, and my grades are the following." So lahat, but there was one grade na 90 lang. The rest were 93, 92. And so the mom says, bakit dito 90 ka lang? Bakit ito 90 lang? Tapos yung iba 93 up. What happened? So this friend of mine called the attention of her coworker and said, "Hey, you should celebrate honor student, lahat 90 plus, tas bumaba lang ng 90 yung isa. You kind of, yun yung na-highlight mo, hindi yung magandang grade." Di ba? So, it can happen na merong ganun, no? Merong ganun na mataas masyado yung expectation and you can't even say, "Wow, you did a good job, anak." So, kahit naman like pinahugas mo yung anak mo, hindi maganda yung like, it's not to your standard, yung pagkakagawa niya, yung paghugas niya ng pinggan, of course, definitely, kasi bata yun, or less of experience yung bata, no? But you say, "Nako, hindi naman, ano, you should do this, and all these things." And the next time you think, the child will no longer respond to you nor talk to you. So, reluctant to praise their children's effort. Parang walang magandang ginawa yung anak. Binigyan mo na ng gift at wala lang sinabi. Okay, but nothing happens. Okay, so they're reluctant to praise their children's effort. Next, they find it difficult to trust their children's abilities. So, ayaw nilang pagkatiwalaan yung anak nila. Parang walang magagawang mabuti yung anak nila. Parang everything will not really come, will not happen pag wala sila doon. At ibinigay nila yung mga trabaho sa mga anak, they don't want to delegate. They don't want to give this kasi nung una, pinagawa ko sa kanya ito, nabasag ito. Ito, no, ganito, so something like that, no? They find it difficult to trust their children's abilities. Next is, they compare their children with others. Bakit yung anak ni ano ganito? O bakit sabi mo nahihirapan ka dyan? Si ano nga galing lang yun ng elementary, doon lang siya sa sa public school. Ikaw nga nasa private ka, bakit sinasabi mo hindi hinahirapan ka dyan? Bakit yung ibang bata, they can do it? Okay, so they compare the children with others. Next is rigid in rules. Kung ano yung sinabi, ito lang talagang pwedeng gawin. Wala nang pwede. You cannot do some innovation. Hindi ka pwedeng artistically do something about it. Basta 1, 2, 3. Yun ang susundin mo. Hi, Coach Phoebe, AP. Thank you for joining me. So, you rigid in rules. So, kung, for example, pinagluto mo, dapat ganito yung gawin mo, ito yung gawin mo. I remember my daughter, she was trying to cook a bacon. And then sabi ko sa kanya, yung gamitin mo, ito yung frying pan na to, don't put any oil, just put it in there. And then my daughter told me, "Can I cook it the way I would like to, the way I'm thinking about it?" So nilagay niya yung, I think, if I'm not mistaken, nag-prito niya. Sabi ko sa kanya, and then, syempre, how high, I don't know how it's in Tagalog, pero like, the oil, tumilamsik siya, sabi ng anak ko, aray, masakit kasi mainit yung oil. So sabi ko, "I told you, you should have used this." Sabi ng anak ko, "Mom, I wanted to learn if this is a better way to do it. So, can I not start, experimenting? Can I not do it the way I think I should do it so that I can learn? Because someday I'm going to be in college." Sinabi ng anak ko yan. Nilitan niya sa akin. So, na-realize ko, I'm being rigid in the rules. Okay? Because anyway, the bacon will have to be cooked. Okay? So, you can give, probably you can show a child how it's going to be done, but definitely, iba kasi siya sa akin. So, she will try to innovate. She will try to do the best possible way she can on her capability. So rigid in rules, okay? Next is controlling attitude. It tells children what to do and not to do. And I believe I have discussed last time that when you are a child of a controlling mom, you lost yourself and you do not know who you are, you don't know how to think. Okay, so it tells the children what to do and not to do. Ito lang pwede mo gawin ito. But of course, there's a certain category, no, pag yung mga anak mo maliliit pa, because you want to safeguard your child. But this can happen when your children are already big, no? And you give them like, what are the possibilities? Ito yung pwede mong gawin. You ask questions. So, but when you talk about controlling, wala ka talagang pwedeng gawin na hindi niya sinabi. Okay? So, controlling attitude. Okay? So, focus on children's fault than achievement. So, na-magnify yung kanyang mga maling ginawa, magnify yung maling ginawa ng anak niya rather than what the child has achieved. So, kanina sabi ko nga, mas nakita yung maliliit na grades. Hindi nga yung maliliit eh. Yung lesser grades than those na malalaking grado niya. Diba? So, yun yung na-focus doon, nakafocus yung nanay na ito. Okay? So, what are the effects of a judgmental mom to her kids? Ano yung mangyayari sa bata? Okay? Emotional insecurity can happen to a child. So, hindi niya alam kasi nga walang affirmation, puro negativity yung nangyayari, yung nasasabi ng nanay. So, wala siya talagang meron siyang emotional insecurity. He does not believe in himself. He does not know he can do anything good kasi puro nga negative yung maririnig niya. So, he wouldn't actually understand what he wants. Hindi niya alam paano ilabas yung kanyang gustong sabihin because of the negative and the criticism he has been receiving. And you have to remember the mom is the first teacher and the mom is the great influencer. And the mom is the one that will really, yung bond between a mom and a child is very strong. So what if the energy of the mom is critical and is always telling the negative to her child, definitely the child will get that emotional negativity and will develop to an emotional insecurity. Next is unmotivated. The child will be unmotivated kasi nga lahat naman ng ginawa ko is mali. Kaya I don't want to do anything. Hintayin ko na lang anong sinabi ng nanay. And oftentimes and not, kahit sinabi na ng nanay, it still has an impact. Hindi pa rin niya ginagawa. So the child become unmotivated because the child is emotionally insecure. He's not sure of himself, so he or she will be afraid to walk or to step out of whatever it is na gusto niyang gawin. So takot siya palagi. Tapos pagod na pagod siya. Kasi nga, all this time, ang naririnig yung nasa brain niya ay yung mga mali ang sinabi ng nanay. Third is fearfulness and resentful. So the child may develop fearful. Ayaw niyang gawin, takot siya. Kasi yung palagi nga siyang, instead of being praised, negative yung sinasabi. Kaya ayaw niya mag-step forward doon sa gusto niyang gawin. Takot siya. Wala siyang, because we're coming from insecurity, from an emotional insecurity. And of course, the child will always be resentful na hindi ko ito ginawa, hindi ko nagawa. He will always beat himself for not being able to do the things because he is afraid. And this is like a domino effect. Okay, lahat yan magkakabit. Emotional insecurity, unmotivated, fearfulness, and resentful. So all the child's life, he will be fearful to do something, take a risk. He will be resentful, okay, of other people who are making progress with themselves kasi nga sa kanya hindi niya nagagawa, and he will always be resentful about his life. So those are the effects of being a judgmental mom to your kids. So I want you to look into this na hindi tayo mahuhulog dito. Okay? Para this will not happen to our kids. Okay? So according to Walt Whitman, he's a famous poet, no? Sabi niya, be curious, not judgmental. So if there's something that your child did na parang hindi mo naman naintindihan, hindi mo alam, paano ba ginawa niya? Bakit ganyan? Instead of judging your child, you can ask, what happened? Hey, what happened? What came about? Bakit ito yung ginawa mo? Instead of saying, kasi ikaw talaga, sinabi ko sa'yo, itong gawin mo, hindi mo ginawa, kaya tuloy nangyari yung ganyan. So you can ask, what made you decide to do things that way? How come that was what you thought of doing? So always ask in a manner of a question so that you get to allow the child to express to you what he or she is truly thinking. Kasi a lot of times, no, meron kasing rason na kahit tayo, no, there's always, kahit unconsciously, we have reason in what we have done. So ang ating mga ginagawa, yung ating mga actuations, yung ating mga actions, we have reasons for that. And so our children have reasons too. And we just need to really like listen, okay, and give that space to our child to express themselves para maintindihan, kaya pa niya lang ginawa yun. Because there is always a reason to it. There's always a reason. And even if we can't understand, we cannot fully understand, we have given our child an emotional security by allowing our child to speak. Okay? So be curious and not judgmental. Okay? So what are the three ways to overcome being judgmental? So kung pumapasok na tayo doon na feel like naging judgmental na ata ako. So ano yung pwede nating gawin? Because there is a way. There is a way. Okay? So first is, if you look at a picture, you look at the mirror. You look at yourself in the mirror. Tingnan mo yung sarili mo. Or self-reflection. Do a self-reflection. Are you being judgmental? Are you the type of person that when you see something, meron ka na kaagad conclusion? Often, a judgmental attitude is a result, okay, of an individual past experience of being critically judged. So when you are nakasanayan mo na you are being judged, napapasa niyo po ito. It is you pass it on. Kasi nga sabi, di ba? We share from an overflow. So kung yung pumasok sa'yo ay criticism, that will be the one also that will come out. Okay, so look at yourself. Do some reflection. How many times have you been criticized before? Ano yung pakiramdam? Tapos balikan mo yung mga scenario with your kids. Ano ba yung mga sinabi ko? Which will entail, like for me judging my kids. Because a lot of times, parang concern, you are actually concerned about your child, but it comes out, yung judgment mo yung lumalabas. Kaya hindi tuloy nakukuha ng bata yung what you really wanted to say. And many of us, okay, are not familiar, hindi tayo aware that it is happening. Kasi nga nagdi-disguise siya into a form of a concern. Basically, kasi sa puso natin, we're really concerned. Pero because you have grown in an environment that you were criticized, hindi mo nalalaman yun yung lumalabas. So, take a look at yourself in the mirror or do some self-reflection. That's the first step. You need to know, you need to understand, am I doing this? So you have to self-reflect. Next is forgiveness is something we do for others. We do it for ourselves to get well and move on. A lot of people who are judgmental are those suffering from having a spirit of unforgiveness. So when you forgive people, forgiveness is an active process in which you make conscious decisions. So if you were overly, criticized before by your mom or someone else in the family or with your friends, you need to make a conscious effort to let go of the negative feelings, whether the person deserves it or not. So ito yung mabigat, because oftentimes, minsan naisip natin, na-forgive ko naman yung mga nagginawa niya, naggumawa sa akin ng ganyan, yung mga judgmental people na overly criticizing you. But you have to really look deeper inside of you, nakapag-forgive ka na nga ba? Okay. And if you nakapag-forgive ka, it's so easy to let go already. People who forgive tends to be satisfied with life. You have to remember that. To have less depression, less anxiety, stress, anger, and hostility. And this is a survey. This is a study that has been conducted in the United States. That people who forgive tends to be satisfied with life, to have less depression, less anxiety, less stress, anger, and hostility. So tingnan mo yung sarili mo. Ano nga ba yung kailangan kong atawa? Ano nga ba yung kailangan kong ilato? Whom should I forgive? Okay, ano yung kailangan kong i-release na forgiveness for some people who did something to me? Okay, because oftentimes, yun po yung unconscious tayo na nandyan. We thought we have settled it, but actually at the end, pag naglumalabas pa rin, then meron pang mga roots niya na kailangan i-deal natin. Okay? Next is, okay, decide to learn to see the true worth of a person. Decide to see the true worth of the person. So learn to separate the person from his or her action. Okay? Because pag may ginawa na kasi, ito narinig mo, ito yung ginawa niya, lahat ng gagawin niya para sa'yo pangit. Tingin mo, wala na siyang tamang gagawin. So yun, that's why it's easy to judge. Meron ka na kaagad conclusion with the person. So you have to learn. So intentionality will now come in here. Okay? We have to be intentional if we want to really level up ourselves and if we wanted to grow. So sabi nga dito sa this quote that nakuha ko, treating other people with dignity means you acknowledge that a person's worth and value is not tied to anything that has the power to define them. Okay? So it's not about the job, it's not about what we have done, but you look at the person as someone with value. Kasi nga, that person was mindfully and with reverence was created by God. So, kailangan ibigay mo yung value. May value yan. Walang tao na worthless. Because each of us were created in the image of God. So, you need to decide to learn to see the true worth of the person. Okay? So, sabi nga dun sa Bible, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, I'm not talking about your but religion, no, but God came to save everyone. God came to seek the lost. Okay? So, hindi wala siyang pinili. So, that means everyone is worthy and of value to God. So, kailangan matutunan natin to be intentional. Okay? To look at people, okay, not on what they have done, but rather to see them really as a human being na create and they are worthy and they are of value because they are valuable in the image of God. Okay, yes, Coach Nilo, ecology matters. It is very true. Okay, so according to Philippians 2, verses 12 to 13, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose. So, ibig sabihin po nito, if you are someone and you wanted to change, if you are someone na notice mo, I'm becoming judgmental. I think there are time to time I'm visited by a judgmental spirit. Okay? You have to remember that you innate in you is God has given you that capacity. Okay, that capacity na ma-strengthen ka para ma-overcome mo whatever negativity that you have in you na gusto mong baguhin. Ibig kong sabihin nito, if you have a personal relationship with God and you've entrusted God everything that you have been doing with your life and you desire so much to change, binigyan ka na niya ng power, binigyan ka niya ng capability, binigyan ka niya ng how do you call it, the wisdom to be able to overcome it. Binigyan ka niya. But you have to be intentional. That's why, ibig sabihin ng verse, continue to work out. Hindi ibig sabihin na gagawin mo to to have the salvation. No, it's not. Ibig sabihin, you have already the salvation because you have entrusted yourself to God. You are walking with Jesus Christ as your Lord and personal Savior. Ibig sabihin, meron ka ng capability. So that's one thing also that you need to look into yourself. Do I have a personal relationship with God? Am I walking with God hand in hand? Okay? So if you don't have, you need to really call on God and ask Jesus Christ to come into your life para hawakan ka niya sa kamay at sabay kayong maglakad sa buhay na ito. And because you have Jesus Christ in you, you have a personal relationship with Him, you are going to be able to have the power to work out. Okay, your salvation, yung binigay niya sa'yo, maisa sa buhay mo. Yun pala yung Tagalog nun. Maisa sa buhay mo siya. You will have that energy, you will have the power, you will have the wisdom to be able to turn yourself from being judgmental to a non-judgmental person. At ito po ay araw-araw na ginagawa. That's why we always hear this from our fellow, from Master Coach A and even from Master Coaches, mean that there is always the need to renew the mind. Yung araw-araw may intentionality na this today, I will do things that I will not be judgmental to other people. So really have to work on it. Okay? Now you have to remember that you have that capacity. You have that capacity to really change things in your life because God is walking with you. So you have to ensure that you have God with you because siya lang makapagbigay ng power na yan. Okay? So sabi nga, strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. So may mga bagay na kaya ko bang gawin? Kaya ko bang baguhin itong buhay ko? Kaya ko bang i-change itong mga pinagagawa ko? Yung mga past mistake, kaya ko ba yung like kaya ko ba siyang putulin and then I'll continue to a life that is, a life of living my dreams? You can. Because it's not the strength of what you can do. you are given the capability of overcoming. So yung mga bagay tingnan mo, yung mga bagay na nalampasan mo, that means God has been gracious and merciful to you at nandiyan ka pa rin nakatayo ka. That means you can do it. So if you try to do it, no, and you try to walk with God, trying to solve out with that judgmental personality, if you have that, then kaya po ma-overcome. It's a decision, and it's a decision to be intentional. Okay? So you have to think that when you set a goal, you have to be clear. You need to clearly define. Sabi nga dito, when clearly define, ano talaga yung gusto mo? Gusto mo magbago? Gusto mo ma-change yung family ninyo, your relationship with your kids because you have been judgmental and they don't want to talk to you anymore. You need to be very clear. Okay? You define what is valuable to you. Is your relationship with your kids valuable to you? Is it important to you? Okay? So your values, when you clearly define your values, will simplify your decision making process and will create a fertile soil for you to flourish. So if you want to change, if you want to step out from being judgmental and become someone, a person who always affirm people, who likes to say good things to their children, if you're a mom, that's my tendency ka ganun sa ayaw mo siyang maulin. Be very clear with your values. What is it that you want that you truly want to see? What is it? Is it valuable ba yung relationship yung mag-ina? Is it if you change, what will the picture be? Pag nabago mo yung sarili mo, okay? Ano yung mangyayari? Is it important to you? Does it matter to you na your relationship with your kids will be good? Because if it is, if you value that, then definitely you will be able to decide and to see clearly the steps na gagawin mo para maalis ka dun of being a judgmental person. Okay? So, it is upon your hands. It is the decision that you need to make. So, you need to to really think about it. What is more valuable? Your pride, your ego, or is it valuable that I'm able to connect with my kids? My kids are able to express with me, and that we have a wonderful relationship, and I value so much that relationship. Yun ba yung importante? Or is it importante sa akin na masabi ko yung gusto kong masabi? Which is more valuable? So if you value that, then you know the things that you needed to do. You need to reflect. You need to forgive. Okay. And you need to really embrace, come up with a decision, okay, to really embrace the change that you needed and you wanted to create in your relationship. So you really have to do. If you go back no sa ating slides, you need to decide to see the true worth of your kids. See the true worth. See how they will impact your life. See the value of why they are with you. See the value of why you were given motherhood as an experience. And we all know motherhood is a calling, motherhood is an intentional step, motherhood is partnership with God. So all those things, okay, is very important for you to take a step into changing yourself from a judgmental person to someone who will affirm and will praise and will give thanks for whatever your child has done. Okay? So if you want meaningful conversation, if you want to dig deeper into it, nahirapan ka and you want someone to guide you, do connect with me at 099573988463. Let's have that conversation. Kasi nga, pag matagal na yan na ginagawa mo, it's a solid practice na yung parang you're used to it na, mahirapan ka. Kaya you need an accountability partner. You need to be processed. You need to really talk with someone para maintindihan mo na, ito pala judgmental na to. Ito na pala yung nangyayari sa akin. So do connect with me. Let's talk. Let's really talk because it is very important, to really treasure. As I've said, if you treasure and you value the relationship that you have with your family, then you're going to take the necessary steps. Okay? So, before I end this conversation, let me invite you to be part of what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. Do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Maureen for coaching for single living at 4 p.m. At ito po ay 3 times a day on a day until Sunday po. Every day po ito 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. And it's very important na, just sit in, listen, okay? Para po we fill ourselves with the good stuff. Okay? Fill ourselves with the good stuff. Kasi kung pumapasok magaganda, yun din po ang lalabas. Maganda rin. Okay, so let me invite you also to get, to be part of the Be Learning Society. So ito po yung ating Be Learning e-card. This comprise 5% discount from Decaf Coffee Republic. If you're gonna order food, there's a free mental model classes. So dito po, Master Coach is teaching us why we act the way we act, what's going on in the mind, okay? And we just finished one mental model about goal setting, no? Paano ginawa ni Elon Musk yung mga mga gandang idea niya na talagang define humanity at talaga yung impact sa humanity. So we had that last Saturday. So there, you are also entitled to a 90-minute coaching session. This is only 1,500. So there's a monthly class for this. Kasama siya dito sa Be Learning e-card. So do join us. This is truly a wonderful experience. So just message me, connect with me at 0995739843 so that I can facilitate you to get this Be Learning e-card. So learning is really fun, especially if you have a good teacher. And with Master Coach, you're not going to miss, I mean, that's really, we're gifted with such a wonderful teacher. So, or you can connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661 to really get the details also of this one. Okay, so that's a Be Learning e-card. Join our Be Learning Society. It's really fun. It's really fun learning and it's really maraming aha moments kasi nga maraming bagong natutunan. Okay, and let me invite you also to Master Coach A's Co-Actively Co-Create Life Coaching Certification. This is a comprehensive approach to learning and mastering coaching as an active process of creating a new path of achieving results in life. So that success is inevitable in every coaching relationship. It includes 21-day web learning, 3-day live coaching bootcamp. Ibig sabihin po, live in the virtual po, and a 3-day live business bootcamp with senior coaching team. So, hello, Coach Glacy. Thank you. Nakahabol ka din. Okay, so do join us in this Co-Actively Co-Create. This is such an amazing life coaching certification. I mean, if you want to professionalize yourself, people are coming to you, for advices, for your opinion. Might as well know the skill, might as well get the certification. So you really have that expertise and authority to really talk, with people about, facilitating them with their life. So this is one, ito po talaga yung recommendation ko because truly here you'll be able to practice because very, very practical and very enriching and yung mga steps po na matututunan sa Co-Actively Co-Create that you will truly be able to practice as a professional life coach. Okay? Then, this Co-Actively Co-Create also comes with a lot of bonuses. So, aside from the 21-day learning journey, okay, there are a lot of bonuses that you will really be able to experience from this. So do connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661. So once again, this is Coach Marife Garfin from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Thank you for joining me. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us from the Philippines. Love, bamboo, love, bamboo. Love, bomb, boom. God bless everyone. Thank you for joining me.